You see, this is why I don't take naps, because when I nap and I check out for a couple hours, I wake up and I find out that companies have been bought, sold, and traded like magic cards. Alright, so the big news hitting the internet that everybody is talking about is the fact that Disney has bought out Lucasfilm. That's right, George Lucas has signed over Lucasfilm to Disney. Disney, who, as far as I'm concerned, is unofficially competing with Google for world dominance. Just saying, it's crazy. And funny enough, this news has gotten mixed reactions. I've seen comments, videos, and reactions where people are like, oh dude, what? Star Wars is gonna die, it's dead, oh, the worst decision ever, it's gonna die. Really? Have you seen the prequels? That already happened. Star Wars fell from grace off of the pedestal that it was on in the 80s over 10 years ago. So do I consider the fact that Disney now owns Lucasfilm a good thing? Not necessarily. I consider it a great thing. Because ever watch a Star Wars movie and just think to yourself, you're like, it would be really cool to see how this director would direct a Star Wars movie, or how this writer would write a Star Wars movie? Now we live in a world where that's not only a possibility, it is an inevitability. You know those trailers for Star Wars The Old Republic, you know, where the Sith just totally sack Coruscant? You're like, a new Star Wars movie should totally be like that. Now we live in a world where it can be. We now get to see new Star Wars movies written and directed by people other than George Lucas, which was part of the announcement. It was announced that we're going to get a new Star Wars movie, Star Wars Episode 7 in 2015. But there's a couple things about that. 2015, you can assume is probably going to be a summer movie, so summer 2015, which is about 2.5 years from now. 2.5 years from now, we're gonna get a brand new Star Wars movie. This wasn't just some decision that they decided yesterday. You gotta think the cogs were turning. This deal has been in the works for quite some time, years. Now, in terms of new writer and director for a Star Wars movie, bear with me on this. I don't know that this is actually gonna happen, but I'm just saying I'm gonna throw it out in the universe, see what sticks. If you look at the old Star Wars movies in their glory days, the characters, the dialogue between the characters, you know, Han Solo, and you think to yourself, who could make a Star Wars movie like that? Let's all be honest with ourselves. I would love to see Joss Whedon write and direct the new Star Wars movie. Again, now I know he's Mr. Avengers now, so he's locked into doing the Avengers too, but that kind of stuff happens all the time where directors are doing one franchise and they're like, yeah, I'm ducking out of this to do this other thing. I would love to see what he does with the Avengers too. I want to see that, but I also want to see what he does with a Star Wars movie. Again, if I'm being realistic, it's probably not going to happen because the Avengers 2 is slated to come out in 2015 also, but I'm just saying if we want the best of both worlds, let Joss Whedon do the Avengers 2, push back the new Star Wars movie a couple years so he can do that also. That is called the fans winning. It's not that big a leap. Joss Whedon directed the Avengers, which is Marvel. Marvel is owned by Disney. Star Wars is owned by Lucasfilm, which is now owned by Disney. You look at the leap, it's like 1 degree of separation. I'm just saying, that could really happen. And it makes me smile. Gotta admit, makes you kind of smile too. And it is said that Lucas is going to stay on as some sort of outside consultant for these new Star Wars movies, which is a complete bullshit jerk-off title. Outside consult, they're going to be like, yeah, outside consult your cup of coffee over there while the adults make a movie, thanks. All I know is this, next Kingdom Hearts game, you're going to see Darth Vader choking out Donald Duck. The next Kingdom Hearts game is going to have Star Wars characters in it. If it doesn't, someone's getting fired. And if I'm being completely honest and sincere about this business decision that George Lucas has made to sign over Lucasfilm to Disney and give command of Lucasfilm to someone else, I gotta say, I have the utmost respect for that. I've given George Lucas a lot of shit over the years. Star Wars prequels, I'm not the biggest fan of. So for him to go, you know what, I'm not the right guy for the job anymore. It will have a better home here. Let's see what you guys can do with it. That's a big deal for someone who built that company to find it a new home. And I'm sure the $4.5 shit tillion he got from the deal is pretty good incentive also. So props to George Lucas. I know he doesn't give a shit. It's not like he's sitting there in his race car bed at night going, I really hope Jeremy's saying nice things about me. He doesn't care. I know this for a fact, but I'm just saying for the sake of saying. Pretty much, you look at any video I do, it's just me saying for the sake of saying, but it's fun to talk about. All right, so Disney owning Lucasfilm and everything Lucasfilm owns. What do you think about that? And who would you like to see write and direct the new Star Wars movie that's supposedly coming out in 2015, but will probably be pushed back a couple years? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.